Okay, it's officially time to remove the plugs and put in the jets. These are wing nuts, so we're going to undo these, pull out the plugs. Oh, definitely heard air there, so that's a good thing. This side takes a universal wall fitting, UWF. Universal wall fitting. It has two little ears on the inside, and that is for the Polaris Robot Vacuum. And ready to go. I'd like to put a little bit of cool and spa lube on that. I am running critically low, but again, because of Calderona, I'd rather not take the trip out to the store, so I'm just going to apply everything very, very, very sparingly. That actually looks like just plenty enough right there as it is. We'll go ahead and screw this in. Don't cross-thread it. Okay, that's as far as I can turn it by hand. Usually I put a pair of EBFPs on there, but quite honestly I don't feel like putting them on there right now and breaking it. The pool's got to fill up, so I got plenty of time to do that off camera. Now we're going to go ahead and take out another plug and put in another jet. Well, how y'all doing today? Today we're going to put in the next jet over here. So we're going to pull this one out. Once again, the wing nut. You don't want to drop these in the pool because then you got to go get them. I don't know if anybody wants to go swimming in the green water. So I did feel more air from there. So that's a good thing. Here is an eyeball fitting. Once again, I'll put just a little bit of stuff, just put it on my finger. Good. Well, just like grill cream, a little dab will do you. Go ahead and screw that one in now. And the idea is to have it end up like that. Whether or not that's going to end up being the case, we don't know. Not quite. Now you can loosen this whole thing and sometimes move it, but this is in there pretty tight. Usually what I do now is I just leave it loose, because you kind of want it pointing upwards like that. And if there's any leakage out the threads here, how much water are you not moving, really? I mean, it doesn't add up to much. So we'll just kind of leave them there, and that's it. I have two more along this wall, exactly the same as what you just saw, along with the piece of grass straw, like we did before. So anyway, you can just repeat that same section of this video 2 more times. Okay, now it's time to put in the stair jets. So same idea. We have a wing nut on that just broke. That's great. When the plastic gets old, that's what happens. Now, of course, if this one snaps off, it's going to be a lot more fun. Well, I guess I'm going to have to go in there with a pair of pliers and really wrench on this thing to get it out of there. Okay, so I just went in there with a pair of pliers and I was able to get it loose. So now if I wiggle it, maybe it'll come out. Doesn't seem like it, so I'm going to remove the wing nut entirely. There's what's left of it. Plastic gets old. And now I'll grab the center bolt here and just do that. Now I got the blasted thing out. Terrible. Many years ago, I had somebody leave a letter in my mailbox. It was right after I moved in the house. And it was just a handwritten note, and it said, "Came to see if you wanted pool closing," signed John and Bobby, and they left their number. It turns out this John and Bobby character were the people that actually built this pool. I called the number that they left on there, and there was a little bit of a misunderstanding because they thought I was the previous owners. And I said, "No, I think you got this all wrong. I'm different people here now." I said, "But, you know, how much in that, and blah, blah, blah." And I remember one year, I think he was closing the pool. Yeah, I had him back to close it or something, or maybe it was that year. And I had a broken wing nut thing like this, and the rubber, I mean, these are getting pretty worn. I probably need to replace them, but he says, "Okay, yeah, you got 2 of these that are broken." I said, "Okay, do you have them on the truck?" He says, "Yeah, I do. It's not a big deal, but they are $25 a piece, though." $25 for this thing? Oh, that's what they go for. Really? I was new and naive at this, but $25, I said, that's really out of line. He said, "Well, you're going to need them." I said, "Yeah, I guess you have me over a barrel, you bastard." So I paid the $50. That sucked. And in fact, here's one I just found on Amazon. Same size, number 11, as they call it. On May 15th, 2020, there it is, plain as day, $4.88. So they just made themselves a quick $40 for being total scumbags. Needless to say, I didn't call them back, or rather, they didn't call me back after that. Anyway, it's time to go ahead and put the stair jets in. So this comes in 2 pieces. It's a little tricky the way it goes. So the first thing I'm going to do before anything, and while I'm doing this, I'll tell you a quick story. I'm going to put some lube on here. Last year, after I opened the pool, the water flow from this stair jet wasn't very good. I never had any of this on video. It just wasn't very good for some reason, and I couldn't quite understand why. And I ultimately ended up taking the stair jet out, because if I felt in here, like with my pinky, because that's the only digit I have that would somewhat fit, I felt like there was something in there. And it turns out, yes, there were 2 little pieces of plastic that were like jammed in this thing that had gotten in the line. I was able to take them out with a pair of needle nose pliers. They were like stuck in here. I don't know where they came from or where they broke off from or what, but that was an interesting little one. So this is a little tricky the way it goes in. Basically, this piece, you just fuck right in there. This one has to now go over that. So let me pull that just so you can see. So it's going to go in, and then it gets locked in by this here. Now if you'll notice here, this has 4 little protrusions over here, or tits as we call them in the business. And And the idea is once you put it in there, you just keep fondling the tits until it gets screwed. So we'll put that in. Just get that over like that. And now you have to just reach in here and hope that you can get these threads. There is allegedly a tool that is made for this. There. I got the threads to catch, so now I can get, you see how it's loose? I can get my finger in there and just shove it around, and 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 a little bit more like that, and now you see it stays in position. So I keep them just about all the way up like that, and that's it. I have one more to do on the other side right there, and then after that's done we can go to the next part, which is hooking up the pumps. That'll be the next part. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you with that.